Star Wars Unlimited enthusiasts, welcome to round 1 of May 7th Star Wars Unlimited Locals Night over at Valkyrie Vault in Brownsburg, Indiana. If you guys are looking for a place to play some Star Wars Unlimited, check out Valkyrie Vault in Brownsburg, Indiana. Thursday nights, 6 p.m., $5 entry, and for today we got some fun decks for you all. First up, we have a Hera Splash Blue, not Hera Force Blue. This is a Splash base, folks. So anyways, that is a 27 health Splash Blue base, and Hera states on her front side, if you control 2 or more units, you ignore aspect penalties on all heroic units. You flip for 5, I believe. 5 or 6, I can't remember. I believe it's 5. For some reason, I feel it's 6, but I feel it's 5, but it may be 6. She's a 3/6 on her back side that has Restore 1, and again the same effect. If you control 2 or more heroic units, you ignore aspect penalties. So gimmick of the deck is you're going to play a bunch of heroic units to then allow you to play out the specters that then allow you to use their effects if you control a unit with a different coloration on it. Again, I just wish we had Hera from Spark and not Hera from Law. The specters will have to wait their day to shine some more. And on the other side, we got a very interesting Lando Law Sarlacc Pit. So Lando Law Pit deck. So the Sarlacc Pit is the specialty rare card that came out of the Jabba Spotlight deck that states epic action. You may discard a card from your hand and go search for a Sarlacc Pit and add it to your hand. Lando Calrissian states on his front side, pay one, tap him. You then may play. You may name an aspect and discard a card from the top of your or your opponent's deck. And then if that aspect was correctly milled, you gain a credit token. On his backside, when he flips for 6, he may destroy 1 credit token you have to create 3 credit tokens. So the whole kind of gimmick with Lando is that before you flip him, you'll pay 1 to create a credit token, and then allowing you to, when he flips, create 3 credit tokens, allowing you to turn 1 credit into 3 credits. So then you can play a bunch of stuff. In typical fashion for Landos, you would play out the Liberty on the turn he flips using the credit tokens to reduce the cost of the Liberty by 2, and then paying 6, allowing you to put out the Liberty. In this case, you can put out the Sarlacc Pit. The Sarlacc Pit states on it, on attack, you may put a card from discard pile back in the bottom of your deck, and you may deal damage based on that cost of that card to one of your opponent's units. So Sarlacc Pit allows you to recycle your stuff and then deal damage based on the cost of the card recycled. I thought it'd be very good for Dryden Voss in a deck, because Voss really wants you to pitch high cost cards into your drop to allow you to ambush guys out, so that when Voss eventually does flip on his backside, you can go pitch a card, ambush out the Sarlacc Pit, and then you can use the Sarlacc Pit on attack trigger to put a card on one of your high cost 6 cost cards that you had to pitch to use Voss's front side back in the bottom of your deck to deal 6 damage to something on the battlefield. That was always my thought of going with Voss. Of course, not searching it out with a 27 health base, but nonetheless, it's pretty cool to see some people playing around with Lando, because at the time, Lando is playing with Lake Country right now, so it's getting that extra 4 points of health, with the caveat of giving up the aspect where you don't really have to worry about, all of the caveats of everything with the extra color. So you're losing an extra base color for 4 extra points of health, but it doesn't really matter when Yellow Heroic has just got a really good amount of powerful cards you can play around with. So without further ado, let's see who's going to win in round number 1. So for game 1 here we go. We're going to start with Lando. Lando's going to go for the ship here, and then we're going to go for Amina. The ship states you can reveal green, and then if you do, the next card you play has ambush. Clearly, you're not going to care about revealing a green card here, because there's nothing to reveal. As we have the Mina against Mina is on attack 2, on attack and then restore 1, and then on defeat you may reveal green, green, white to then draw 1 card. We're going to go for an Obi-Wan Kenobi. Does come out with, of course, Sentinel, and then we're going to deal 2 damage. We have the Masai group Marines coming down as well, the 4/4. Again, the Obi-Wan does lose the Sentinel here, because it has to gain Sentinel when you play a Force unit for the turn here. So very interesting. So now we do have Hera is allowed now to ignore all aspect penalties on heroic cards, because you do have 2 or more guards out right now on the battlefield here, being the group Marines and the Mina. So we're going to go swing 4 damage at the base here, seeing what we really want to do on the Lando side. We're going to go for a Typho, allowing for a Sentinel there. We're going to go for Kanan Jarrus, and that's going to bounce back the Typho here, because again, we do have a green unit out, which means Kanan does allow us to bounce back a 4-cost unit or less. We're going to have Mina is going to attack the base for 2, and then we're going to swing in for attack from the shuttle over there as well. Again, Mina, it does allow for the story 1 here. So we are kind of seeing the power of if you allow this Hera to go off, meaning that you keep it at 2 or more units at any one time, it is allowed to start playing the rest of its deck, because it does have splash. Now, it does have splash, so it can remove 1 aspect out of its normal pool, but again, it really wants to be playing a lot of units so that it can utilize a lot of effects. Again, it does have the access to the full Spectre line as well, as we're going to go for another Captain Typho, or replay Captain Typho, I guess you should say. We're going to go for a Zeb, and that is just going to be a straight scoop up there, because the Zeb is going to be able to kill off the Captain Typho, because you do have out the necessary card. I believe it is red or yellow. No, I think it's a blue. I forget. I think it's, no, he's red, blue. I believe he can do green or yellow as out on the battlefield. Then he can do 5 damage to a unit. So you're able to deal the 5 damage, kill off the Typho, and then the board state is just a little out of control for the Lando player here, as Hera is going to take game number 1 from a scoop up from Lando. So with that said, let's move into game number 2. Here we go, folks. Game number 2. Let's get it started. We're going to go for a Gunji, and then Amina, poor Gunji can't carry around his good old saber anymore, his General's Blade. So anyways, now we have the 2-5. We do have a Sarlacc pet on the Lando Calrissian side, but that doesn't really matter there. Again, you have the ability to epic action to search it. You're not playing just 1. We're going to go Gunji 2 into Mina, and then Mina is going to attack the base here. We're going to go for 3. We're going to go for a good old, oh my gosh, he is the guy from the Resistance that is now spacing my mind. 𝐒𝐓𝐀𝐘. So 𝐒𝐓𝐀𝐘 does allow you to reduce the cost of cards while he's on the battlefield here, as well as when he's piloting. So Gunji's going to just kill off the Mina there, removing it, and then of course Mina's trigger. They have the double green and the double. They want double green, and no, they do not have it to go for the Mina draw. We're going to go for a Chopper to give himself an experience token. Then we're going to attack with 𝐒𝐓𝐀𝐘 here, and then we're going to go for, of course, Charge with Corruption, and then we're going to show double green. That is going to be the Queen Amidala, and I forgot what the other green card there. Blue Leader. And then we're going to go for Lando trigger to then discard the top. It is a green. Ooh, a Sarlacc pet. That does kind of suck there. The fact that there's probably 1 left in the entirety of the deck, because 1 is resource, 1 has been discarded, but green was correct there, meaning they do have a credit token to play with. We're going to go for good old Lando. Lando does get to come out, and we're going to go for the effect of the Sarlacc pit here to go get the last Sarlacc pit by pitching out, of course, the Radis, which is really nice there, just getting that out of the hand there, allowing that to then be a good target for the Sarlacc pit on attack. So anyways, with that said, the Lando on the other side does have Sentinel, and also when it attacked your, I believe it is a -2 to your, target attack can get -2 to the attack. And then here comes the flip of Hera. Hera is on 5 for some. I felt she was on 5 for some reason. I thought she was a 6 cost. So Lando is going to be kind of painful here because of what it can do, where it can reduce the cost of whatever is attacking it as well. So we're going to go for a Gunji hitting the Lando here for 1 damage. Oh, he must just reduce the cost by 1. I thought he was a 2. Anyways, we're going to go for Blue Leader to then kill off the Lando there, even with the -1 to attack. That is enough to kill off Lando there. And then we're just going to go for a pass, and we're going to have the Hera attack the base, and then we're going to have Snap 𝐒𝐓𝐀𝐘 attack the base there as well. So it's really cool. A lot more back and forth than game number 1, but I think that's really how you control this Hera leader is you just keep it off bodies. So we are now able to flip Lando. We are able to drop out the Sarlacc pit this turn as well because of that. Anyways, we're going to go for another Lando. Oh, more Landos. And for some reason, I thought he was a -2, but he's just a -1. So anyways, we're going to go for Lando. Lando's going to pop the 1 credit token to make 3 credit tokens. That does allow us to drop the Sarlacc pet onto the battlefield. Here, we're going to go for Hera is going to kill off Blue Leader there, taking back 5 damage points here. And then we're basically able to drop the Sarlacc pet and do some stuff here with it as well. So anyways, we're going to go for a drop of, just a drop of the Blue Squadron the resistance A wing, basically, blue squadron, and then that's basically going to be able to kill off the Lando there, and that's basically going to be the end of Snap Wigsley, because again we do 1 damage and all that. Oh, I think they messed up. I thought Lando was a -2 to the on the attack trigger there. That first Lando actually no, that's not a kill on the Lando. They thought they killed the Lando. No, he still does the -1 there. They just thought that was a kill off of the Lando. No, he does a 3. No, sorry, that was not the -2. I don't know why I tried to give him an extra minus on the attack. No, he just does a -1 to the attack, but he doesn't die here because the snap isn't a 3 cost on that. So anyways, we're going to go then pay a bunch. We're going to go for the Zeb. We're going to have the Zeb kill off the Lando because it can only deal the 3 damage because there is not a green or yellow right now on the base or on the board. We're going to then pay 1 credit and the full amount of 7 resources to play out a 𝐒𝐓𝐾𝐄 pit. And then we're going to just hit with the base for the Lando there. And that is pretty much it. We do have the attack from, of course, the A wing if absolutely need be, but it looks like we're just going to claim the initiative on the 𝐒𝐓𝐾𝐄 pit side, which makes complete sense because you can be able to go for the 𝐒𝐓𝐾𝐄 pit to kill off the Zeb here and then kill off the Lando in one fell swoop immediately, meaning the Hera now has to reset up her board state to do all that. So we're going to go for the attack and then we're going to trigger back to full back to the 𝐒𝐓𝐾𝐄 pit. We're going to be able to then kill off both of those. Doesn't really matter which one you took. You took full damage either way. You just immediately killed off one of them thanks to the 𝐒𝐓𝐾𝐄 pit being able to recycle the 𝐒𝐓𝐾𝐄 pit. We're going to go for a Leppy, look out for a 3-1 with the shield. Then we're going to swing in with the A wing here, dealing 5 damage onto the base here. Again, remember, Hera needs 2 or more units on the board state to start to ignoring aspects here. The big problem is this 𝐒𝐓𝐾𝐄 is going to be able to start cycling back the rest of that deck, the graveyard over there, and then we're going to go for a retaliation to kill off the A wing. I would have held that for the 𝐒𝐓𝐾𝐄 pit if I am being honest. An A wing, the resistance A wing is not worth it. We're going to go for the Raddus in the sky, and then that is just going to be a straight scoop up there from the Hera side because, again, they have the 𝐒𝐓𝐾𝐄 pit and now the Raddus, so meaning that these are now both hurting, and this 𝐒𝐓𝐾𝐄 pit can just start marking the board and doesn't even have to attack our opponent. The 𝐒𝐓𝐾𝐄 pit can basically just attack the bay, attack all one of the units and just start murdering the battlefield, keeping Hera off of her ability to play guys with remove their aspect penalties, meaning that the board state just becomes Lando's to play with. And retaliation would have been better stayed in the hand. The A wing was definitely not the hit for the resistance. A wing was not the hit for the retaliation. I would have waited to see what the 𝐒𝐓𝐾𝐄 pit does, to see if it attacks the base and then recycles. Yeah, you take 8 damage, but that is the better target to hit with retaliation off the board, because you're definitely not going to retaliate against the Raddus, because the Raddus on death will just do 8 damage to anything on your board state there. So that is a scoop up there from, of course, the Hera side, meaning that Lando Law took game number 2, meaning we have that all-important game number 3. Folks, the best words you'll ever hear in card gaming, game number 3. It's delicious. Let's begin here as we go right into the Hera side, going for Amina, and we're both going to start off with Amina. Nothing like good old Mina action on both sides of the board state. As a reminder, remember, once Hera gets 2 guys established onto the board state, you do start having the problem of, well, Hera then is going to start reducing the cost. Anyways, we're going to have a Mina attack, and then we're going to have a Mina attack, so 2 damage to Mina, 2 damage to the base, and then we're going to be able to go for a blue leader, killing off the Sabine's masterpiece there, which is pretty nice, meaning that if both these Minas want to kill each other, they can both, each side can draw 1 and restore 1, which is hilarious in its own retrospect. So we're just going to have to figure out what we want to do. I think there is a charge with corruption there as well, so that is very interesting. What do we want to do? Again, we're going to go for a splash. We're going to splash out good old Kanan to bounce back my opponent's Mina, and then we're just going to go for a good old Obi-Wan Kenobi, meaning that we don't have really anything to worry about that for that. And then, of course, has Sentinel right now. Then we're going to go for the Lando to then create a credit token, allowing us to reduce the cost here. We do have the Queen on both sides of the board right now that both sides can throw out, as well as Hera can throw out other units as well, because now she is able to reduce the play cost, reduce the aspect, doesn't take aspect penalties for all heroic units right now. So anyways, we're going to go for 2 damage from the Mina here. We do have some very interesting plays we can do. We could do blue leader, go pay the extra 2, go down to the ground, kill off the Kanan Jarrus, and then we're going to go, I guess we're just going to start off with going for an Obi-Wan Kenobi attacking, then we're going to see an extra draw there because we do see the two green and 1 white being showcased there as well. So we're going to figure out what exactly we want to do on the Hera side, because again, the reveal there is not an action that is result of on death. So we're going to swing and take 3 damage to the Sarlacc pit base there from the Kanan. Again, Kanan also has a restore 1, which doesn't really matter in this game state. Kind of figuring out what the Lando player really wants to do here. They could play at the Queen. They could go for a play of a blue leader. We're going to go for Queen Amidala. Ooh, the Prestige Queen Amidala too. So it looks like we don't have any tokens to go for spies, but spies are 0-2, so there's nothing really to worry about for that. We're just going to go for a flip of a Hera, and then we're going to swing onto the, or it looks like we're going to do a swing over a spy here. Then we are able to reduce the play cost of units we want to play. We're going to go for a Zeb on the other spy here, because again, we do want to be able, because again, if the Zeb had targeted the Queen would have just targeted out the spy there for the damage. So we do get this flip Lando this turn if absolutely need be. It's very interesting they haven't gone for the Sarlacc pit. We also have charge with corruption as well, so that means we can potentially steal the Zeb for a turn. We're going to go for blue leader to kill off the Zeb, dealing 4 damage and then surviving, of course, with 1 health point left because of the Zeb only deals 4 damage. Sorry about that one. I don't know what came over me with that. But anyways, a very interesting ploy here is we're going to swing and then we're going to kill off the Obi-Wan Kenobi here with the Kanan Jarrus, taking back 3. We're going to flip and then we're going to make, of course, 3 credit tokens by burning 1 of our credit tokens. Very interesting play, what exactly they want to do with all of that. I mean, we still have charge with corruption if we want to steal something. We're going to go for the Queen. The Queen steals the Queen. We could do that as well. The problem is Hera... I guess you could do that. You could do charge with corruption, put the Queen under Lando, meaning that it's a little harder for that to spy, and then you can basically just run over one of the spy tokens. We're going to go Queen to kill the spy. We're going to go for Hera to swing at the base here. Still trying to think what exactly our Lando player wants to do. They do have the ability to go for the Sarlacc pit as well. They could pitch 1 card, go search a Sarlacc pit, and all of that. Anyways, we're going to have a Queen. We're going to have a kill of another spy token here. We're going to go for paying 2. We're going to go for Mina out here. And then we're going to trigger the effect of the Sarlacc pit, pitching a Gunji to then go get a good old Sarlacc pit here. There are some nice things in there to shuffle back and all that, because again, the Queen doesn't have any officials or Naboo on the board state. And I don't know if Hera has official. I know Kanan doesn't. I think he has Jedi Spectre and... all that, but I don't think that's going to protect the Queen, because the Queen Amidala needs something that has both the tags of either has the tag Naboo or official, and I do not think that Hera has official. I think she is Twi'lek, Spectre, and then Rebellion, so she does not have that tag attached to her. So it is going to be interesting here. So we do have the ability to drop the Sarlacc pit. We do have a Captain Typho as well. You do have to be cautious of a couple of different things here. We're going to kill off the Kanan with the Mina there, taking back the 3 damage. We're going to then have the Hera go. We're going to swing 3 at the base here. So no real damage going after the Hera base right now. The Hera on the side of good old Lando, it's been a lot of just straight up control here. We're going to go for blue leader to kill off the Queen here, meaning that now the splash base has been burnt, so that means we are paying high costs for all our major stuff. So we're going to go for another Queen, making 2 spy tokens. Those clone troopers are spy tokens. They are not clone troopers here. So it's going to be very interesting because we have the ability to go Sarlacc pit down this turn, because we can kill off both of the spies. We can drop Sarlacc pit, and then we are able to use Sarlacc pit to potentially kill off 2 things off this board state here. But that is one of the plays we can go for. We're going to have Queen actually is going to deal 5 damage to the base, and we're going to go for a Lando to attack the base as well. So interesting here. Oh, because we're going to go for Typho, and then give us a Sentinel. We're going to do Charge of Corruption, showing the 2 green. We're going to steal the Queen under the Lando Calrissian. Now, that is a play to go for there, folks. That is definitely a play to go. Now, you do have to realize that Zeb can't kill off Cassian and then can't really do anything, and then those spies are definitely going to die to Typho, and Typho only needs to show green-white to immediately start healing in the board state here. So that is very nice. Not mentioned we see another Typho in our player's hand, but again, we are able to reduce play cost. We are going to bounce the Typho back. We're just going to play the Typho once again, because why not? and all of that. So that is the big problem here, because you have to go after the Lando if you want to get the Queen Amidala back to your hand, or back to the battlefield. We're going to go for the Masami group Marines. We're going to go for Mina to kill off a spy here, restoring 1 here. We're going to do 2 damage to a spy. We're going to show another Captain Typho here, because why not? Showcase we have another Typho. 2 damage to the Typho here. Typho does die to the Hera here. We don't have much left. We do have a blue leader that we can drop and then give it the extra 2. So it looks like we are going to go for a blue leader. Yep, we are going to burn the extra 2 credit tokens. We are going to bring blue leader down. We are going to kill the Kanan Jarrus there. We're going to deal 3 damage over the Typho, show another Typho, heal 1 there. It's going to do 4 damage to good old Hera there. And then we can basically swing 5 damage at, of course, the base there with the Queen, and then 4 damage from there, dealing 9 altogether. This is a comeback on the Lando side for sure. Good comeback, good comeback. So anyways, that's going to then be another draw 2. The Starlight Pet still has not been dropped. We know that our opponent has another Typho in hand because they've been revealing it. So the problem now for Hera is this board state is getting a little out of hand on the Lando side, because you know they could potentially do another charge with Corruption to steal another guy under Lando. So anyways, we're just going to have blue leader Hera kill off blue leader there. It doesn't really matter that Hera is not in the rested position, because again, Hera's effect is a stagnant effect that is always active. So anyways, we're going to have the Masami Marines kill off the Queen there. We're going to go for the Starlight Pit, and I think that is just going to be a scoop up there, as we see a charge with murder, a Poe Dammer that can technically play an X-Wing and play itself under that X-Wing for its play itself, and then we have the Typho as well. So, I mean, they're really much else to do, and then the Starlight Pit can just basically murder everything on this board state, because they can attack and then cycle stuff back to the deck, dealing 5 damage, 3 damage. It has a good amount of little damage things it can do. So in the end, even though game 1 went to Hera, Lando was able to win it all out. So Lando, Law, Hit, won it all. What an amazing game from both of our players, going to the delicious game number 3. But nonetheless, really cool game and really cool thing to see with the Lando Calrissian 100%. With most people playing blue and Lake Country being the only real way, I'm glad some people are trying out this leader with different things to do. Overall, it was a really fun looking game. But I want your guys' thoughts down in the comments on the decks, on the gameplay, and while you guys are commenting, do make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and ring the bell so you're notified when my videos go live for you. And we'll see you here next time on Mama Dragon's TCG.